back, I'm Gertie Rude, back again, the Tuesday mood. Well, here I am, I'm back, it's Tuesday, and I'm in a Tuesday mood. I don't know what a Tuesday mood looks like, but whatever it looks like, I'm it. So we're here with all our beigeness, and Tricky Dicky here is, or Mickey, taking the Mickey, is Harry used to courtiers doing everything for, well, yeah, it's no wonder charity blew up, and yeah, what is this supposed to be news? So we're going to be treated to her, and for some reason she thinks she's now the Royal Highness. So I think what she means is Highness. Do you get me? High as a kite. Don't say anything. Shh. Ayahuasca. That type of Highness. So when you meet her, you have to say, Your Royal Highness. High as a kiteness. Just say that anyway.
It's become such a subject of controversy. I mean, there's the term Meg's because of her. I will say, though, there was a piece by Trevor Phillips in the Times where he said, Meghan and Harry leaving the royal family was a huge missed opportunity because, she could have been the face of a campaign to address the issue of skin bleaching and colorism in parts of South Asia and mainly sub-Saharan Africa, where women are using these toxic chemicals, often cancer-causing chemicals, to try and lighten this.
And we actually produce it in this country, and don't ask me how I know, but I do know that, or we did at one time in the recent history, produce vast amounts of this product that's shipped out to African nations and the probably Asian subcontinent, that sort of area, and they rub it in their skin to make them, I don't know why they do it, but they do it, but you're not allowed to sell it in Britain. There you go, I just thought I'd stir the pot a bit, you know what I'm like. So anyway,
and this
move on.
whole idea of, wanting to be lighter and beauty standards and all of that. These are things that she didn't really need to do much, just being the face of it and highlighting those issues, which I know would have been very significant for me, especially growing up where I did.
Your beautiful girlfriend,
but these are, she's not, I don't know if she's not cerebral enough to take these on or daring enough. I mean, these are things that people really appreciate because a celebrity, she is a celebrity. She's always going to have media outlets following her wherever she goes.
You just don't change your sterling work, you are. Can I say this? I know it's YouTube, so I've got to pick my words carefully. But we've got a vast industry in Britain that's dedicated to sun tanning, and these sun tanning shops where you can go and get sun tanned or something, whatever they do. I think you stand in like a little spaceship with your knickers on, or like I did off. Mind you, I was standing in the shop with them off, and that was a bit awkward because there was quite a few like 999 falls. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what happened, but anyway, I was asked not to go back. So, but it didn't matter because I thought it was a Greggs. So obviously I didn't have my glasses, so I got a bit confused. And I went in and I see all these people half dressed, so I just sort of take my drawers off. So that was a story that I don't like to talk about publicly. So I won't talk about it publicly because it's quite a delicate subject. But there are these salons that you go to, and I see, because there's one, there's quite a few in my high street, but there's one that's just recently opened, and I see all the young girls. It's like, what is it, the Trail of Tears or whatever, of young girls traipsing in there, to go from pale to whatever colour you go to when you go to tanning. I don't know what happens really. I think you end up looking like Donald Trump, don't you? And then conversely, they're making stuff that girls rub in their face when they're from Asia or the Indian subcontinent or even Africa to make them paler. I'm confused the population. Can we meet in the middle? Can we all agree to sort of stop doing this, darlings? Yes! I think what we should do is just stop it, because rubbing stuff in, and then... So I've also got in my past a sort of friend of a friend that died at a very young age because she was addicted to these sun tanning beds, sort of circa 1980s. You might as well have just thrown yourself on a blast furnace or something, So they're not good. They're not good for one's biggest organ, which is our skins, darling. So stop putting whitener in it that's going to give you all sorts of noxious diseases and limit your life. And can white girls stop going and getting bleeding tanned? It's ridiculous. Yes, God made us the way we are. Just get on with it. I think in the future, maybe we can all meet in the middle and be sort of more, I don't know, like a cappuccino. I'm not sure, because I won't be here, so it won't affect me. But, yeah, it's crazy, isn't it, when you think of that? It is crazy, but I'm crazier, so we'll just move on.
But she can do something with that other than vacuous, empty boring things like
she was never
selling jam or having
constructive.
interviews with basically her friends that don't really add any value to anyone's lives.
Well,
and I think that's something that they
there.
should really be comfortable with pushing. I mean, I think for Harry, one of the things that he was really saved by being part of the firm was the fact that his face was what sold anything that he did. So with his Sentebale charity, when he started it, everyone was like, this is great, he's doing this in honor of his mother and all of that. In the time since, and obviously with this drama with Sentebale, the fact that it's been revealed that he hadn't even been to Sub-Saharan Africa, to Lesotho in 5 years, and this charity that he started, it was quite shocking, particularly to me, because I think, so you're one of those people that starts something, puts your name on it, gets a few rich friends, and then basically ignores it and lets the little, people in Lesotho and Botswana run it.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, come on now, Esther Kwaku. He did play polo every year to make some money for Sentebale. So they all drank champers. She took all her friends and they had like an AA lister. Should have been AA, shouldn't it? Should have been AA, really. They should have had an AA tent stuck her in it. But, like a double A list sort of area, where the good people go. The fine people, the good-looking people, that sort of crap. So in other words, it was elitist. And somewhere along the line, after making the money and paying all the expensive, they had a couple of quid that they give to Sentebale for the little kiddies. So that happened, and that was a thing. And also, when it comes to saying, well, Harry was this... When he was a teenager and a young man, he was obviously mooted as the face of his generation. So it was a sort of 2 or 3 pronged PR tack that the courtiers and the PR machines did. A, he appealed to his generation and probably maybe some people slightly younger than him, especially when he was going into the army. I've got a story about that, but I won't tell you. If you get me drunk one day, like Netflix guy, I might share it. But so he went in the army, this, that and the other. And there was that to it, wasn't there, if you know what I mean? And he did appeal to his generation and maybe up-and-come generation, but also the very fact that he was the son of Diana. He also appealed to the older people that grew up when Diana was sort of married and all that carry on. So, there was that to it. And he and William were mooted as the sort of forward-facing into the future outlook for the royal family until the Markle. And then everything changed. Has anybody read The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, darlings? Do you remember that? Do you remember it? Yes. Just reminds me of that. And we know who's the White Witch now, don't we, darlings? We do. Now, who's Mr. Tumbless? Can we just try and work it out? Could it be Barry Barrington? I don't know.
And then somehow you have this clash with a chairwoman who seems to be doing things at least. And for me, it was a very bad look. And I just thought, you're not a royal anymore. You can't just do that. You can't just attach your face to things and expect it to blow up. And you're like, oh, I've done a good deed. You actually have to put in the work. If you run a charity somewhere,
well, no, I think he was trying to get the funding to go through Archwells. Wasn't that something, or was that just rumour? Because I think this was the same with the Ingriftus as well, and there was quite a few resignations of the top tier management of Ingriftus, because he's the marketing face of it. He doesn't actually manage it. He just turns up so people take photographs. And obviously the Markle, she goes and she settles a couture bill against Ingriftus, and obviously the best suite in the best hotels. And private plane there and back, and she usually needs a couple of days or even a week or so. So I went to just decompress from having to work at Grifters, walking around without no drawers on. That sort of crap. Anyway, let's move on.
Please make the charity part of your work. You should be there regularly, every few months at least, have regular correspondence. And it's this kind of management from afar doesn't really work, especially because he doesn't...
I've said it a million times. He told that girl, when she was a little toddler, many moons ago in 2006, that he was going to take care of her for the rest of his life, which was mooted to be approximately £20 a year. She's now a young adult and has never, seen a penny or seen Barry. So there you go, there's that. Move on.
Hard to manage. His life has been managed for him. He's always had these courtiers doing everything. So these are the things I think they should really consider doing and taking seriously if they have any hope of redemption.
Yes. Of course, as well, we had a very fun and unexpected turn from Prince William. We all know he loves Aston Villa, but he really took it to another level this week. He was offering commentary alongside Rio Ferdinand and Ali McCoist for the PSG versus Villa game in the Champions League quarter-final. I love this story so much.
I love it.
And fans loved it too. They were commenting on how good he was, and Rio was saying that he's going to be out of a job. This is a more relaxed and playful side of the Prince of Wales. We're seeing that more and more. Do you think that...
That's what comes of having a happy marriage, apart from anything else. And we've heard they argue, but that's healthy and happy. I bet they make up good as well, don't they? Do you get me, Capiche? So there's that. And they're just happy. He's grown into himself being a father and being the sort of alpha male of the family. But especially more so because when you look at poor old Charles, and then you look around, the next sort of alpha male and only alpha male that's sort of credible is William. So, yeah, he's there. He's fitting into some really weighty shoes.
Do you think that this is part of a bigger strategy, or do we think he is just feeling more relaxed in his role?
I'll just take their titles away, William.
So it is a formal part of his role, and it's easy to forget that because he presents himself as a fan, and I think there probably is something deliberate in that. But we know that he's been going down the pub to watch the football for a long time. There was a point when he went to the pub with the editor of the Sunday Times to watch a game.
But when you say they go to the pub, it's not sort of pub, it's not Spoons. You know what I mean? Some posh thing and they bring a head and it's, you know what I mean? But they get the pub experience, so it's probably roundabout wherever it is they are, probably Windsor or maybe Sandringham Estate somewhere. And there's kind of that to it. So, but anyway, while we're on the subject, William, can you please do something about the Marklets? Because they're doing everyone's head in. We've all given up the will to live with them. We can't part with it anymore, William. You need to put your best foot forward and say something. I don't know what you're going to say, but you're going to have to do something and say something.
I mean, he was very, very convincing. He was talking about PSG, the team Aston Villa were playing, the French team. Talking about the high press. They put a lot of pressure on, play the long ball over the top. He was giving some strategy tips. He did get his prediction for the outcome wrong, but he's an Aston Villa fan, so he predicted his team.
He thought they were going to win.
But yeah, I think it was very convincing. I think
no
it won
hope,
a lot of respect from football fans for delivering a convincing.
I was quite impressed actually, because my brother always complains about rubbish football pundits. So I was like, have a look at this. Look at Future King. He can hold his own. And I think one of the things I noticed about William is he has very few speech impediments. He's very articulate, and it's obviously part of royal training and stuff like that. But I think it really helps when you're listening to football commentary in particular, because you can trip over your words a lot more easily. And
but he's always been big into football. Because wasn't he the what is it they do? I don't know what it is. Something to do with the British team. Yeah, the English soccer team, David Beckham and all that crap. Was he a sports ambassador or royal whatever? Something to do with that. Just don't quote me on it though. Obviously, it's top secret. Nobody knows.
You can tend to have all these unnecessary fillers in there, and I think people they're like, get to the point. What is actually going on tactically? What is going on and what should be done? So people were really impressed with him, by that. And I also just think he just seems like a man of the people, which is, I mean, even people that are not necessarily royalists begrudgingly respect him because they just think this.
He's got a fantastic relationship with his son, though, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? He's always seen out with his son, taking his son here, there, and everywhere. And they always take the children age appropriately because they don't always just all hawk them around. Sometimes it'll be you'll see Charlotte with Kate, and sometimes you'll see them all together, and sometimes you'll just see, say, Charlotte and George with one of them, or like in this situation, it's just George and Dad. Yes, they're having a man's night out, darling. Yes.
He's not a bad guy. He's not going to make us look ridiculous. He's actually been quite mature and level-headed, considering all the stress he's had to deal with his wife's cancer treatment and his brother losing his mind. So I think
exactly.
People appreciate this side of him.
I think people will relate as well to the fact that he wants to bring his son to the game and he wants to pass the mantle down.
So cute, and you watch them getting all excited. It's very relatable. You're right. He just comes across as very likable. So this is just another.
Yeah, it's one big. We all have that. We all have in our family, a brother who's not very bright, who's lost his mind, and a hot actress.
Yeah,
we all have hot actresses.
We always have the dodgy uncle, don't we? Every family's got a dodgy uncle, a mad auntie. I'm usually the mad auntie, to be fair. But yes, that just sort of happens, but it doesn't happen on the world stage. But there you go.
And we all have the bartender. We all have the uncle no one speaks to in Prince Andrew. You have the awkward cousins. You have the really hot
the ones
sister.
that you have to invite to sort of births, deaths, and marriages sort of situations, but no one wants to be sat next to them.
No, we all have that. We all have the couple that the couple that got together.
I want to meet your family now.
I think we're all going to come to Christmas Christmas at your house. So we've got to move on now. This has been so much fun. There's been so much on this week. So it's been great unpacking it all. And we're going to finish up now with our quickfire questions. So these are, you don't panic. Nothing too stressful. Just give me a quick answer to a couple of questions here about news of the week. First of all, we got the King showing off his Italian during his Rome visit.
Yes.
Who do you think is the best royal to travel with?
I think Harry, when he's on form, is great fun. I'm going to pick Harry.
I'm going to choose Anne. I think she'll keep us all on the strain. She's such a workaholic. I'll be like, where are we going next, Anne? Oh, I have this in my diary right now. We're going here at 11 p.m. And yeah, it should be great.
You want to go on a big working...
Anne would be like going somewhere with the headmistress, wouldn't she? Really, bless her. She's lovely, but she terrifies me. Absolutely terrifies me, but she's a wonderful woman. Anyway, I think we've had enough. I think we've covered all the bases. So let's just say goodbye. And wherever you are, have a great afternoon, evening, or good night. Bye-bye now.